Exodus chapter 20. We're going to be reading verses 14 and 15. They're not very long, so it won't take but just a minute or two. Verse 14 reads, "You shall not commit adultery." Regarding this sin, the Decalogue puts both man and woman in the same category. Our second duty towards our neighbor is to respect the bond on which the family is based, and that conjugal honor, which to the true man is dearer than life. Marriage, according to the original institution, makes the husband and wife one flesh. Genesis 2:24. And to break in upon the sacramental union was at once a crime and a profanity. It is a sin against God, who has made man, for it shows a lack of respect for God's creation, and it is a sin against one's fellow man by taking and violating that which belongs to another. Jesus also showed that adultery may be committed in the heart without the act itself actually being committed. He said, "You have heard that it was said by them of old time, you shall not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looks on a woman to lust after her has committed adultery with her already in his heart." Matthew 5, verses 27 and 28. Verse 15 concerns stealing. You shall not steal. As it regards our neighbor, we are to respect his property. We simply don't take that which does not belong to us. Matthew Henry says human laws punish various transgressions of this command, but disobedience to the law of God will be punished whether human justice reach it or not. Imposing upon the ignorance, credulity, or necessity of others, abuse of confidence, extortion, or many other things are transgressions of God's laws, though scarcely censored in society. He went on to say, plunderers of kingdoms and oppressors of millions who consider themselves to be above human justice will be included in this sentence. Defrauding the public, whether by oppressive rulers or by evading payments lawfully required, contracting debts without prospect of paying them, or evading payment of just debts when enabled to do so, all extravagance, unnecessary subsistence upon clarity, squeezing the poor in their wages, so as scarcely to allow them to subsist. All of these and many such like things violate the spiritual meaning of this command. To touch upon one of the ways this sin is oft committed is the failure to pay income taxes or to defraud insurance companies, etc. Jesus said, "Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things which are God's." Matthew 22:21. To steal from the government, in a sense, is to steal from fellow Americans who, in effect, are paying their fair share. While we may try to excuse ourselves by claiming that many fat cats don't have to pay taxes at all, etc., irrespective as to what that might be, that does not absolve us of honesty on our part. It's perfectly legitimate, scriptural and otherwise, to avoid taxes in any way that is legal. However, to evade them is something else again. It is stealing. And as well, it is just as wrong to steal from God, and even more so. The Lord, through the prophet Malachi, said, "Will a man steal from God? Yet you have robbed me." But you say, "Wherein have we robbed you?" "In tithes and offerings. You have cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. You bring all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. And let the reader understand that tithing has begun long before the law. In fact, beginning with Abraham, at least as far as we know, in Genesis chapter 14, verse 20. Tithing is carried over under the new covenant as well, with Abraham having laid down the principle. Melchizedek was a type of Christ. Abraham paid tithes to him, and we, the children of Abraham, spiritually speaking, are to continue to pay tithes to the work of the Lord, which is of Christ. 2 Corinthians chapters 8 and 9.